Yo, Cap.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, what topic do you want to talk about?
Yeah, we can talk about the question, which, well, it's not a question. It says, prove Christianity is immoral. I think that's a loaded imperative. We can talk about that. The reason why
It's a loaded imperative?
Yeah.
Why?
I
Because
think it's a loaded imperative because, one,
yeah, go on.
yeah, I don't accept that there are moral predicates. Do you have an argument in favor of there being moral predicates?
Wait, if you don't accept moral predicates, then you wouldn't say that Christianity is immoral.
Yeah, that's why it's a loaded imperative. Because when you say prove Christianity is immoral, you're presupposing that there are moral predicates. Right, insofar as at least the analyticity of the second kind, which just talks about, well, you are because of the analyticity of the second kind, right? Insofar as,
well, I could be an error theorist for all you know, and I could ask
semantic.
people to prove that something's immoral.
Yeah, I'm not an error theorist.
You wouldn't say it.
Yeah, I'm not
like an error theorist. You're not?
No, I'm a moral abolitionist. Well, meta moral abolitionist. So all that's being said here is, look, when you try to apply, all that's being said here is, look, when you try to apply moral predicates in any type of proposition, imperative, anything whatsoever, it's not going to have semantic underpinning at all. And then when you make an imperative like prove Christianity is immoral, obviously that's going to be a command. It seems like you are presupposing that there are moral predicates, at least insofar as there's some analyticity of the second kind which can be applied. Do you know the distinction between analyticity of the first kind and the second?
No, I don't.
Okay, analyticity of the first kind inclines to be this. Analyticity of the first kind is just going to be talking about the statement and its logical structure, and then analyticity of the second kind is talking about the statement and its semantic underpinnings. And when you say that,
of the words.
And when you say that prove Christianity is immoral, you are presupposing, well, semantic underpinning isn't just the meaning of the words. It's going to be this thing that provides the leveling for the meaning of the words to obtain. And all that's being said here is, like, when you make an imperative where you say prove Christianity is immoral, you're presupposing that there's some analyticity of the second kind to be a set of the moral domain, right? And we can go against this. We can say that the moral domain collapses insofar as there's no analyticity of the second kind. There's no semantic underpinning at all. So the question is malformed in that sense, unless you have an argument.
So you're saying I'm assuming that immoral has meaning to it?
No.
Okay,
there's a distinction between the meaning of a term.
The second kind.
There's a distinction between the semantics of a term and the semantic underpinning. The underpinning provides leveling for the meaning of the term to obtain.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so when we talk about leveling, we're saying that there's this underlying meaning structure that gives the concept its coherence in the sense that it allows the meaning to obtain. So you're saying that there's this underlying structure of the term where it's intrinsic to the term that gives the term coherence, and it allows for the meaning to obtain. Because if something is incoherent, then it seems like the meaning there wouldn't be able to obtain. Right, and I'm just asking you. Yeah, incoherent would just mean that it's unable to be conceptualized within our.
You don't think that? So you would say that like moral predicates aren't able to be conceptualized?
Yeah, you take conceptual error theory. That's a part of meta-moral abolitionism. It combines conceptual error theory with the abstract theory of argumentation, and also Nietzsche's conceptual ethics. Yeah. I just want to have an argument in favor of the moral domain having these type of things, because you can be a conceptual anti-realist about the moral domain there and say that your scheme doesn't have an adequate distinction of existing and non-existing entities.
Oh no, I don't think that, like, if it's the case that, let's just say your view is true, then it would like follow then Christianity is not immoral.
What?
If your view is true, then Christianity would not be immoral. Unless
that doesn't follow. There's not a dichotomy between something being moral and immoral.
I never said moral. I said it would be not immoral. That's the proposition Christianity is immoral. You would negate that. The negation would be true under your view, right?
The negation of something being immoral is itself a moral proposition, right? But we deny all moral propositions.
The negation of something being immoral
is itself immoral. It's a moral proposition in the sense that it embeds. Yeah, the reason why is because it embeds moral predicates in the proposition. So clearly, it's a moral propositions are just propositions which embed moral predicates.
So you don't even think like Christianity is immoral is a proposition?
No, I think it's a proposition. I think it's a malformed proposition, though, because of the analyticity that I've already talked about.
If it's a proposition, then it can be true or false. So it would just be false then.
Well, that's not true either. I don't think there's only two truth values. I think there's a third truth value, which is just indeterminate. I go against bivalence. I don't accept that. I think it's a proposition with an indeterminate truth value in virtue of the fact that the concepts don't occur.
Do you actually hold these views, bro?
Yeah. Denying bivalence isn't controversial, by the way. There's plenty of logics where bivalence is denied. But obviously, if a proposition has some content that's unable to be conceptualized, it doesn't even make sense to give it a positive or negative elliptic value. It has to be indeterminate.
So you wouldn't say you're a non-cog, would you?
No, I don't hold to non-cognitivism or cognitivism. There's other views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I don't think I have an argument for with the underlying conditions that would give
the
moral meaning. Concede that I don't have an argument. Yeah, I would admit I don't have an argument for that proposition.
Okay, perfect. And are you willing to concede that you cannot disprove that the background is malformed?
I can't disprove the prompt is malformed.
The imperative in the background, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Okay, when you say malformed, what do you mean?
Yeah, there's a violation in the expected, semantic, conceptual, or syntactic content. Specifically, we're talking about the semantic. Yeah, specifically, we're talking about the semantic content. Like, what would be expected of an imperative is that there is semantic underpinning, insofar as you're making the command, right? But but we don't see that. We don't see the semantic underpinning obtaining. At least, you can't prove that the semantic underpinning obtains. So then it just seems like warranted in affirming that it's malformed.
Would you say that like immoral would be the same as like if I just like smashed my head into a keyboard and I just like typed a bunch of like random letters? Is that how you view like immoral and moral?
I don't think they're like concepts that we have.
So would you say that like if I were to just like type a bunch of random letters on my keyboard, would that like kind of be the same as like immoral and moral? Like the words? Like the meaning, I guess?
Yeah, I don't think there is any meaning. I think it's just syntax.
So there's no meaning. Okay. You think it's just syntax with no meaning? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think I could get out of here now. I did what I came to do.
You want me to concede? Well, what was your question? You said, do I concede that the...
Oh yeah, do you concede that you can't prove that the question in the background is not malformed? In contrast to the view I gave. Like you're not able to...
I wouldn't have like an argument that like... I don't really care to give an argument that to prove that like moral properties actually...
Okay, just say you concede, bro, so I can get out of here. Just say you concede at this point. Like you lost.
I lost? Okay, yeah, I concede, dude. I concede.
All right, have a good one, man.